Hi ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Holowitz from 365acttips.com and tonytheteacher.com. In this tutorial I want to talk to you about a new feature in Act 16. It's an automatic company creation filter. Now what is a company? Well, a company is very similar to a group, but really it's designed to focus on the company itself. In other words, let's assume for a minute that we have contacts in here all from the same company. Well, it makes sense that if you have a bunch of contacts from the same company, you might want to be able to group them together to see information about those particular contacts. Now, you could use a group, but ACT has a feature called companies, which is sort of like groups but on steroids, a little bit is the best way I can describe it. Now, my experience has been not a lot of ACT users use companies, and a lot of times I find that when they do use them, sometimes they use them, in my opinion, for the wrong reasons. But having said that, I've never been a big company fan because I thought or I felt they were too much work to deal with. But it is a nice thing if you have all these contacts that are part of the same company to sort of be able to get them together easily and efficiently. And that's what ACT has done. The reason you might want to do that in version 16 is because when you come down here, and I want you to observe that we have a company here, 365 Act Tips with my contact information, but we also have Jill Jones, we also have Harry Potter, and we also have John Smith. It might be nice at a glance to be able to see information about those four contacts at that company. Information like opportunities, history, notes, or whatever it might be. Now what ACT has done in version 16 is they've given you a tool to automatically create companies if you so desire. Let me show you how to do that. If you go up and click on Tools and go down to Preferences, over on the very far right, and one thing I want to just point out to ACT, I wish they wouldn't hide this tab. I wish they'd figure out a way to make this box bigger or make the admin more important or more prominent. But having said that, I'm going to click on the Admin tab and I'm going to go down to Company Preferences. Now keep in mind, there were 4 people in 365acttips.com. Now by default, and I was messing around with this, I should have put it back to 0, but by default when you open this it will have 0. But what you can do is you can do this. You can say, listen, if a company has X amount of contacts, automatically create a company and ACT out of them. So because we have 4, I'm going to click the number 4 and I'm going to go down and click on OK. Now what ACT's going to do after we do this, it's going to search the database and find all the contacts where there's at least 4 people in that particular company, and it's automatically going to group them together as a company. Okay, so let me just restate that. If there's more than 4 contacts, or 4 or more, with the same company name, ACT is going to create a company out of them. And let me show you what happens. I'm going to click OK. ACT is going to say, wait a minute, we have 12 new companies in here that will be created. So in other words, we have 12 scenarios where there's 4 more contacts with the same company name. I'm going to click yes, and then I'm going to come down and click OK. Now typically what happens when you do this is you have to do a little work in the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the list view, and then I'm going to go back to the detail view. Basically what I just did there is I just refreshed the screen. But what I want you to observe is this. Now this 365 Act Tips is highlighted in blue, or not highlighted, but it's blue, and it's got a line under it. And now in essence it's like a link on a website. It's a hyperlink. If I go to the next contact, same thing. Same thing. So what that does is this. This allows me to look at all the contact information as a company. So I'm going to click on this right here. And now I want you to observe that all this information is grouped together. If I want to look at the individual contact, I can click at their name. But what a company has done is it's grouped together all the information. So all the notes are together. All the history is together. All the activities for these 4 individuals. So at a glance, as a business owner, or a sales manager, or just trying to keep this organized, I can come to one spot and see all the information related to that particular company. So that's the idea behind companies, and ACT now makes that easier because now you can see all the information in one place as it's applicable to that company, and it's automated. So that's really a good thing about this particular tool and why I'm now leaning in Act 16 towards this idea of using companies a little bit more because it's easier and it's automated. My name is Tony Holowitz. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.